There are stories that stay with you, that change you, that become a part of who you are. They do not just entertain, they shape the way you see the world. They make you think, they make you feel, they make you dream. Star Wars is one of those stories. It is not just a film, not just a series of movies with lightsabers and space battles. It is something deeper, something timeless, something that speaks to the very core of what it means to believe in something greater than yourself. There is a reason why it has lasted for decades, a reason why people still debate it, still celebrate it, still pass it down from one generation to the next. It is not because of nostalgia, not because of special effects, not even because of how groundbreaking it was when it first came out. It is because Star Wars is not just about what happens on the screen. It is about what it makes you feel. It is about the way it pulls you in and refuses to let go. It is a story of adventure, of tragedy, of heroes and villains who are never as simple as they seem. It is a universe where nothing is certain, where destiny and choice collide in ways that feel both mythical and painfully real. It is a place where power is never absolute, where hope is never truly lost, where even the darkest moments are just one decision away from redemption. That is what makes it more than just a film. That is what makes it a legend. And yet, for all of its grand themes and epic moments, Star Wars is also deeply personal. It means something different to everyone who watches it. Some see it as a thrilling adventure, others as a reflection of their own struggles. Some love it for its wisdom, others for its characters. Some are drawn to the Force, to the idea that there is something greater guiding the universe. But no matter what brings people in, no matter what keeps them coming back, there is one thing that never changes. In this video, I am going to tell you why I love Star Wars. Not just the action, not just the spectacle, but the things that truly make it special. The things that give it meaning. The things that make it unforgettable. Because to me, Star Wars is more than just a franchise. It is a journey, an experience, a lesson in what it means to struggle, to hope, to fight for something worth believing in. There is something about Star Wars that makes you feel like you are stepping into a larger world. The second you hear that opening theme, it is like a call to adventure. The music swells, the words scroll, and suddenly you are no longer where you were before. You are in the middle of something ancient, something massive, something beyond anything you could have imagined. Every planet feels like it has existed for thousands of years. Every starship carries a history with it. When Luke looks out at those twin suns, you feel what he feels. The longing, the restlessness, the desire to be somewhere else. It is the same feeling we all have at some point in our lives. The urge to leave, to explore, to become something more than we are. What makes Star Wars special is that it never loses that sense of discovery. Even when things are at their darkest, there is always the possibility of something new. A new ally, a new challenge, a new world waiting just beyond the horizon. It is a universe that never stops growing, never stops evolving. It is always expanding, always pulling you in deeper. And the best part is that it is a journey that never truly ends. No matter how many times you watch, no matter how much you think you know, there is always more to find. A detail in the background, a line of dialogue you never paid attention to before. Star Wars is an adventure that lives with you, one that grows as you do. The Force is not just magic. It is not just some power that makes people fly around and lift rocks. It is deeper than that, more meaningful. It is balance. It is destiny. It is something that connects everything together. It is not something you can touch, but you can feel it. It is there in every moment, shaping everything around it. What makes the Force so powerful is that it is not just about strength. It is not just about lifting something heavy or throwing someone across a room. It is about understanding, about connection. It is the idea that every action has weight, that every choice matters. It is the difference between control and chaos, between order and destruction. But the Force is not simple. It is not just light and dark, good and evil. It is temptation. It is struggle. It is doubt. It is the way Anakin falls, the way Luke almost follows him, the way Rey is torn between what she was told and what she feels. The Force does not give easy answers. It challenges, it tests, it demands something from those who wield it. And that is what makes it so compelling. Because deep down, it is not just about Jedi and Sith. It is about us. It is about how we choose to live, how we choose to act. It is about the choices we make when we are afraid, when we are angry, when we are lost. The Force is not a power, it is a question, and it is one that never stops being asked. For all the wonder, for all the adventure, Star Wars is a tragedy at its core. It is a story about people losing everything. It is about pain, about regret, about the cost of every decision. It does not shy away from suffering. It does not pretend that heroes always win, that good always triumphs. Sometimes, the worst happens. Anakin is the perfect example. A boy who only wanted to help, who only wanted to protect the ones he loved. But fear twisted him, led him down a path he never meant to walk, and by the time he realized what he had done, it was too late. His story is heartbreaking, because it is not just about one mistake. It is about many. It is about a slow fall, about moments that seem small until they are too big to fix. Then there is Luke, a hero who did everything right, who saved the galaxy, only to lose himself later in life. His story is not just one of victory, it is one of failure, of broken trust, of the weight of expectations. The legend people believed in was not the man he saw in the mirror. And the worst part is, that is how life is sometimes. That is what makes it real. But even in tragedy, there is always hope. That is what makes Star Wars different. It does not wallow in darkness, but it does not ignore it either. It lets you feel the pain, lets you understand the loss, but it also reminds you that there is always a way forward, that even after everything, the fight is not over, that there is still something worth saving. No one in Star Wars is just one thing. No one is just good or just evil. Every character is shaped by what they have been through, by what they believe in. They make choices, they struggle, they fall, they rise. They are not perfect, but that is what makes them memorable. That is what makes them real. Darth Vader is not just a villain. He is a man who lost everything. He is anger, he is grief, he is regret wrapped in armor. Every breath he takes is a reminder of what he gave up. Every step he takes is weighed down by the past. And yet, even after all of it, there is still a spark of who he was. There is still something inside him that can change. And then there is Leia, a princess, a warrior, a leader. She carries the weight of the rebellion on her shoulders. She loses her family, her home, everything she has ever known, and she keeps going. She does not break, she does not give in. She is strong in a way that has nothing to do with the Force. She is strong because she refuses to stop fighting. That is what makes Star Wars heroes and villains different. They are not just symbols, they are not just archetypes. They are people. They make mistakes, they learn, they grow. And when they fall, they do not always get back up. But when they do, it means something. It means everything. The world of Star Wars is not just a setting. It is a character in itself. Every place, every city, every cantina is filled with life. There are stories happening in the background, details that most movies would ignore, but Star Wars never does. It always makes you feel like there is something just out of sight, something worth exploring. Tatooine is not just a desert. It is a place of lost dreams, of forgotten potential. It is a place where people survive, where they scrape by, where they wait for something better. Coruscant is not just a city. It is a machine, a world that never stops moving, where power is decided in the highest towers while the lowest levels are forgotten. And it is not just planets, it is people. It is the way stormtroopers talk to each other when no one is looking. It is the way droids are treated as tools, despite the fact that they feel, that they think, that they hope. It is the little details, the small moments, the things that make the universe feel lived in. That is why Star Wars never stops feeling real, because it is not just about the big battles, the grand destinies. It is about the small things, the little touches that remind you that even in a galaxy far, far away, life goes on. It is not just a story, it is a world. Star Wars is more than just a movie. It is more than just a franchise. It is a feeling, a memory, a part of who we are. It has changed the way stories are told, the way we see heroes, the way we think about good and evil. It has left something behind that will never fade. It is a story that has lasted for generations, that has meant something to people who were not even born when it first came out. It has been debated, it has been criticized, it has been reimagined, but it has never been forgotten, because at its core, it speaks to something deeper, something that does not change with time. It is about hope. It is about redemption. It is about the idea that no matter how bad things get, there is always a way forward. That even when it feels like all is lost, there is still a chance to change. That is why it matters. That is why it always will. And that is why I love Star Wars.